alternative energy sources. And a lot of them we can do right now, honey. For example, if tomorrow every automobile was what they call a flex fuel automobile, means they could pull up to a gas station and fill up with gasoline or fill up with what they call E85 ethanol. That is a thing that's 85% ethanol. Wouldn't save a lot of money at the pump, but it would affect the environment. It would keep the global warming from occurring. Second big thing we have to do, even if America, that's a little tiny thing. And we should be investing in a lot of things we could be doing to not generate as much fossil fuel waste. I would go, and your dad will explain to me later, I would cap carbon emissions. I would say that you cannot emit any more carbon into the atmosphere than you're now emitting in the major power plants, forcing the bad ones to go out of business and have to go in and make the investment in clean burning technologies. You have to do that. And it costs money, by the way. Don't kid yourself. This costs money. And the third thing that you have to understand is it's not sufficient that we get it right for global warming. In China, China has 200 million people. We have 300 million. They have 4 times as many people. India is going to, in 5 years, be bigger than China. They're going to have 1,400 million people. And guess what? They're now growing. And they're consuming more and more energy. When I was in China in 1978, you'd go into the capital called Beijing, and you'd ride a little minibus with the other senators going from meeting to meeting, and there'd be a sea of bicycles. It was like going through a school of fish. Guess what? All those folks are riding cars now. And the pollution in Beijing is horrible. And what's Beijing doing and what's China doing? The same thing we did at the turn of the last century. They're burning all this fossil fuel. So what we should be doing in terms of our investments, and I apologize for the long answer, but it's kind of important, is that what we should be doing is developing things like they're talking about in America, clean coal technology. Not so much for us to burn the coal, for us to sell the technology. Sell the technology, make money, create jobs to China and India. China has all the coal they need. So we should be using this as a win-win proposition. I'll give you one last little example. All of you saw the Detroit Auto Show. Was in every newspaper, small and large, in America over the last month or so. And you saw that you have that General Motors has a plug-in automobile. The Volt, it's called. Thank you. The V-O-L-T. And it's Chevy. Thank you. And the Chevy Volt is an experimental car. And it has what they call a lithium-ion battery. And what it means is that they say that they can develop this vehicle now where the average person drives 40 miles a day. On 40 miles a day, by just taking your car home and plugging it into the outlet in your garage like you plug in your toaster, you don't need to use any gasoline. Now, it does take energy because electricity costs money. And it has to burn stuff to get the electricity going. But guess what? In the United States of America, we've been reluctant to invest in experiments to figure out how to get an ion lithium battery that works. So I have a little proposal. Spend $100 million a year in joint projects with the industry to develop a lithium-ion battery. Now, you have Japan's already doing that with their automobile companies. Germany's doing that. And we sit here in our hands and we're doing nothing. Now, will that answer all our problems? No. But it is possible. By the time you are 25 years old after you're out of college, it's possible you'll be driving an automobile, if we're smart, that you never pull into a gas station. Biodiesel is also research. We're ahead in technology. Chrysler Corporation, which is on the balls of its heels, is ahead in terms of biodiesel technology because of Daimler-Benz. But we're not investing in any of that to the degree that we should. This is within our power. Again, I'll end and I'll get out of your hair. I'll go back to what my dad always says. It's all about priorities. Are we going to spend $2.5 billion a year giving money to ExxonMobil that made $34.5 million last year to encourage them to drill for oil as if they need our investment to do that? Or are you going to take that $2.5 billion and use it for experimentation and finding new alternatives? in dealing with the automobile industry or the housing industry.